So, my great focus, as you know, if those have stayed with me for years, first of all, in some kind of Buddhist-sounding sense, is just to relieve suffering. We see so many people who suffer unnecessarily. There's enough suffering in life already built in. We're all going to die. People whom we love are going to die. There's going to be illness. There's going to be things that are going to happen in lives that are just so painful to us just by the risk inherent in being a loving, caring human being. The minute you're a human being who loves and cares, even if just you love yourself in your life, there will be tragedy and pain in life. So the question is, how can we minimize the rest? So many of us suffer unnecessarily, and we cause other people to suffer unnecessarily. And when I think about the deep pain that some people live, and the awful past that some people live with, the grief they carry around, and their prospects for the future sometimes seem very, very dim, and just what it means for some people to get up and show up every day because of what's going on internally, either in their body or in their spirit. And I'm witness to this, as many of you are, and then I hear about the meanness, and then I hear about the pettiness, and then I hear about the thoughtlessness. And there's a part of me that just becomes, in a way, you can hear my voice, just profoundly sad that in addition to the inherent tragedy of the human condition, we all pile on, we all make it worse. Either we make it worse for ourselves or we make it worse for other people. So I mentioned many, many years ago, some 20 or some years ago, is when I made an internal commitment that whatever my political passions are, I've always been passionate. What I've been passionate about has changed dramatically in the past 20 or so years, but I've always been politically passionate. I thought to myself, I'll talk about that a couple times a year unless there's a crisis. Otherwise, I'm only going to focus on one thing, and that's how to relieve human suffering. And in our tradition, one of the great ways when we relive suffering is to live a conscious life of virtue. Because in a conscious life of virtue, you learn how to manage your thoughts, manage your feelings, so that you don't cause yourself suffering. And then if you can manage your thoughts and your feelings, and then you can manage your words and your behaviors, you minimize the suffering you cause to other people. Now that's a mindfulness-based cognitive moral psychology. The religious dimension comes in, because as a religious person, I believe this takes place in the presence of the divine. And I believe in some way it is the divine that propels us toward this work. I think on one hand, when we're engaged in this work very deeply, we evoke and anchor down the divine presence. And other days I feel it's as if a divine presence that is driving me and pushing me and giving me vision and courage.